Do you want to begin the Lazy Gardeners with your sound effect?
Well, I was just going to interrupt you. There you go, baby. This is what we're all about. This is why we're teaching you how to be a lazy, smart gardener.
Exactly.
So, excuse me.
All right, you take care of that right there. I'll introduce our lovely and talented guest, the one, the only Allison Scott. Hello, Allison.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. I put down here as a little note in regard to the Lazy Gardeners show, Allison Scott sings and gardens.
Well,
At the same time.
I sing. I don't garden well.
Well, that's what we got you here
I'm
for.
working on it.
That's what we got you here for. You are gardening.
Yes,
but, you
I
know,
am.
I know you want to ramp up those efforts. I know you
do.
want to do better.
I do.
And we want you to continue to learn the ethic of lazy and smart gardening. We want to
Sounds
establish this
fabulous.
pathway now.
Right.
And then you'll carry these lessons forward into the future. Just like when you're teaching those young people how to sing, how to play piano, you teach them to do it the right way. And it's, in your case, a far more disciplined way than what we're doing here. Trust me. Oh, yeah. No. Actually,
Do you two guys want me to leave?
the lazy garden ethic is disciplined, but it's smart. That's the whole idea. Oh, hi, Bobby.
Oh, hi. Sorry, I just didn't.
How's it going, Jensen?
I didn't want to
Hey, good
interrupt
see
you two. You two
well,
kids.
you know, you wanted your break for your little sippage
I did.
there. So
I'm okay now.
All right,
I'm
everything's
there.
good.
Everything's good.
How you doing, Bubba? Good? Had a good week?
Wow, look at this day. It's beautiful. Except, we're starting to get some
fantastic.
skeeters out there now.
Yeah, we are.
The hatch is hatching.
Yes, indeed.
So maybe we'll talk a little about stuff you can keep mosquitoes away with.
Oh, that's good because I need a little bit of that. I'm still cleaning up.
Well, you got
the-
a pond.
Well, but you know, the when it's full
'Cause
and
it
running,
moves, right,
it
it's
moves.
fine,
They can't harvest in there. But I've been spending the last couple of weeks draining it and cleaning it out, and so I've got some standing pools, and it's like, oh, yeah, so I go in there and shake it up. I put my muck boots on, and I go in there and just disturb it. And
Oh, man, we got to it. We didn't have video, man.
I
I'd
know.
love to see that
Can
one.
we come over and
Right
tape
now?
that?
Okay, so when are we going to ask her about, we need a theme song?
oh, that sounds like a good idea.
And do we know anybody that writes music?
Oh, that sounds like a good idea.
She might be able to know someone.
Oh, she knows.
I
people.
could
She
recommend
is
some
people.
people.
She knows people. She is
She's-
people.
She is peeps.
Yeah, so we don't know. We don't quite know what. It's just got to be lazy. It's got to be lazy
Okay.
sounding. It's
Okay.
got to have sort of a loping, behind the beat feel to it. I think
Sounds
a little
excellent.
back porchy.
Well, wait a minute.
you know?
Whoa. What did you say last week? You said it was like Gilligan's Island. You wanted to have it.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not. I am saying that.
Oh, yeah.
but I'm just saying in terms of we're talking two different things. It needs a
Oh,
storyline.
I'm sorry. I'm not a music guy like you.
No,
I'm
it's
just
okay.
a gardener, man. I'm
It's
a dirt
sto-
guy.
So no, but you're right. I'm glad you brought that up because it's got to have a storyline.
Yes.
And what we liked it, at least I thought Bobby liked it too, was like the Gilligan's Island theme, where they kind of explain in the song the whole show, the whole premise, just sit right back and you'll hear a tale, and they tell you the whole setup is there in the song, right?
That'd be great.
And then, but
Maybe Kevin and I could get on that.
but it's got to have sort of I think that's what I'm saying, sort of
Yeah.
a lazy loping,
Wait a minute. Lazy loping Kevin Bow. I don't know if those words go in the same sentence.
Yeah, if you get him.
He's versatile.
Yes, he
is.
is.
He
He's
is.
very, very versatile.
So we should tell our people about Allison, who she is, what she does.
Absolutely.
Or introduce our guest.
Let's have Allison do that. How long? And we'll ask in a series of questions. How long you been making music?
About 10 years now.
Where did it all start for you?
The womb. Somewhere around that
Someone
time.
sang to you.
Well, both my parents are music majors. So my mom, she was a voice major, and my dad was classical composition. So between the two of them, I think I found my path. And so we were encouraged to do all kinds of music stuff. growing up.
very cool.
Yeah, but it became my way of life, I would say.
Yeah.
Right
I
after
mean,
college.
Okay, so right after college was when it really kicked in for
Yeah.
you. Yeah. I mean, we've known each other since the very start of your
Yeah.
career.
Yeah.
And with that first record, you had you kind of splashed onto the scene in a kind of a nice little way. I mean, people started paying attention to you right out of the gate. That was a pretty fun experience for you, wasn't it?
It was extremely overwhelming, and
Yeah,
I
I
think
imagine.
I kind of had to go on autopilot. Like my CD release party, I think we had close to 500 people at the Varsity, and I had never played a show before, except open mic night here or there or whatever. But I had guys like Tommy Barbarella and Jeff Bailey and Kevin Bow backing me up, and I was 22 or something like
and
that.
serious area musicians here, right?
Yeah, yeah, very intimidating. I remember standing backstage.
And now they
probably-
all work for you.
Right. Occasionally. But I was standing backstage probably ready to pee my pants out of terror.
Sure.
And Tommy Barbarella came over and kissed me on the forehead and said, "It's going to be okay."
Yeah.
And it was.
And it was a blur. I don't remember anything after that the rest of the night.
And 10 years later, still a blur.
Yeah,
Yeah.
generally.
Yeah, you really just keep rocking it. And tell us about the new record coming out real soon here now.
It's called Stone Cold Love.
Okay.
It's our first originals album in 5 years.
All right.
So
Because you've done some really cool covers projects here for a while.
Yes.
Yeah.
We did a covers record, and then we did a holiday record. So it's our 6th album overall.
Didn't you do two covers records?
Yes.
Yeah. See, I thought that there was 2. Yeah.
Yes. So,
And the holiday one. Yeah.
and the holiday one. And this one is kind of, back to our roots in a lot of ways. It's very soul-based, but at the same time, we're dabbling in a lot of genres we haven't dabbled in before.
French cafe music, perhaps?
Obviously.
Oh, cha.
Pop, actually.
Okay, cool.
So it's a little poppier than
Nice.
we've gone. And Sia I'm a huge fan of hers.
I'm a huge fan of hers too.
She's fantastic.
I go way back with her to 07 and the early solo
Yeah.
stuff,
Yeah,
and then now,
yeah.
with her very unique style and everything she's doing. Yeah, you know who we're talking about, Bob? Sia,
No.
amazing artist. But the thing I think that on a pop culture level as of late is that she sings with a mask. She sings so that you can't see her face. What she's trying to do, help me out here, Allie, is to sort of preserve her sense of anonymity as an artist so that she can still have a life.
Right.
And not be out there in that whole pop culture thing. So, if you've seen her on
cool.
Saturday Night Live or elsewhere,
Huge wig.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
wears this, it's sort of, she wears a costume and then wears a veil of sorts that covers her face.
And then she has this little dancer who
Yeah.
is basically the show. So Sia is usually facing the back wall singing live. And then I can't remember the little girl's name.
I
She's
can't either.
amazing.
But on the Grammy Awards show, it was that young girl and Kristen Wiig that did
Who
that whole
rocked
dancing
that.
piece. So did you see the Grammys there? We're going to have to get you out.
Yeah.
No,
more,
I
Bob.
know. I'm a homebody. No.
Yeah, it's okay. But, just take a peek at the Googles and
The
go to-
Google? It's on the Google?
And go to the YouTubes.
Man.
And then
love the
SIA,
Google.
Sia. Yeah, she's Sia Furler. She's
And
just,
how do you
yeah, she's
spell Sia?
SIA. Yeah, Sia.
Oh, I can
Sia.
handle that.
And so you can Sia yourself for some Sia.
Ah, yeah,
oh,
yeah, yeah,
okay,
yeah.
that was too
Let's-
easy. That was a softball. So some directions that are similar to that, or at least inspired, from your enjoyment
I
of
haven't
her
been
music.
into pop, I don't think, for
Yeah.
the last 10 years because I think there's been it's been lacking in the songwriting department for
Yeah,
me. And
okay.
she's one of the first people where I think she really takes a lot of care when she's putting her songs together.
Yeah, I think so too. She's
Yeah.
quite a craftsperson.
Yes,
yeah.
she is.
Yeah, she's amazing. And well, I wish you all the best. I mean,
Thank
you've got a
you.
new video shot.
A
for the
video
first
coming out,
single,
man.
and-
Ooh, yeah, my daughter's in it, so is her musical debut. I mean,
Cool.
she's basically just spinning. She's 2 years old, but still,
But she's in it.
she likes to ham it up for the camera.
And
Yeah.
it worked even though a buddy of ours did it. Joey
Joe
B.
Brandmeier.
Joey B.
Gotta love
Shockingly,
that
somehow it came together
In spite of that, Bob
in
says.
spite of everything.
All right. Well, you had all the stars lined up because Joey, in spite of Bobby, there he is one of the amazing
no,
shooters and
that's-
one of
Oh,
the
yeah.
amazing producer
Yeah.
I
directors
kid.
out there.
I keep telling
I like
him.
to kid.
Just kid.
I like to kid.
guy. Once Joe's on board, I just didn't worry.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
it's going to be
No,
great.
he's really good.
Yeah, yeah. He like Tommy giving you that kiss on the cheek
Right.
10 years ago. It's just don't worry, everything's
Yeah,
going to be
I got
okay.
this.
Yep, you're going to be just fine.
Well, thank you for coming to the Allie and Brian show. We'd love to see you come back again next week. And we'll be
Bobby,
talking.
would you teach me something I need to learn?
All right, let's dig in
No,
here.
we need to find out what your
Yeah.
skills are, Al.
So where you living?
Dig a hole, put a plant in.
That's about what I can do. That
You and your husband, your daughter, living in Richfield, so kind of a
Yes.
standard suburban lot there. I
we kind of have a double lot.
Oh, you
so
do?
we do
So
have
you
a
got some
we have
space.
a pretty good sized garden. I have 3 4x4 beds, and then
Oh, nice.
behind
Raised up
them
beds?
I have 8 inches, not far.
What, raised with stone, raised with the
Raised
wood thing on the
with- yeah,
side.
I think I bought them at Costco.
Okay.
And then we have raspberry bushes and strawberry plants just kind of on the ground behind them. So,
and do you get to them before the birds get to them? Or
last year, because I just planted them last year, so we didn't
So you
get
didn't get much, right,
and
yeah,
the
yeah.
the critters did take care of most of it. But now I go back and I have like 50 strawberries waiting for me, and
Nice.
maybe 3 of them have been chewed on, but so far.
sharing is good.
Yeah.
Well, it's either that or you got to put a net over it and
Yeah.
get
No,
crazy.
it's just frustrating.
Is little Gracie digging that? Because I
She
remember
does
when,
love it.
when Lydia was just a little punk, and just to go out there. Yes, you can eat that.
Right.
Right, and look where it comes from. It doesn't come from Cub. It comes from our backyard.
How about that?
But I
Yeah.
think that's like part of my passion is to get little kids involved, and that's the best thing you can do. What you're
Right.
doing,
Right.
They actually can see where it comes from and
Yeah.
start a little baby seed and watch where it grows.
And it's
just
funny
so
too.
cool.
I remember too, because even at 2 years old, you can teach them that not all the things you see like this you can eat.
Well,
which
Right.
is
there is
you know,
Right.
yep. But that's funny, and
It's
it's
that
really
whole mushroom thing.
yeah, exactly. But even at 2, kids get that.
Oh,
that
I
this
had
one
a-
you can eat, but you have to ask mom, mom first before you do that. But there's other ones, but ask first, and they get
We
it.
had a terrifying moment last year because our neighbors, we have fences between our yards, and they had some nightshade that had creeped in,
Yeah.
and Grace took one of the red berries and put it in her mouth, and I saw her, so I got to her like as she bit into it. But of course, I knew
Deadly
they were poisonous.
nightshade.
I just didn't know we had any around, and
Did
so
they
I
kill
called
it off?
poison
Did you kill it
control,
off?
and they're like, "Oh no, she just bit into it, and then you got it
Yeah,
out
no,
of her
you
mouth."
You
gotta
really have
see-
to ingest it.
6 or
Mhm.
7 of them.
And you
they
have to
said.
have more than just a little bit. Yeah.
Right.
And it's all by weight.
Mm.
Little kid, it doesn't take as much.
Still low.
It's a tomato family.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, that's
tomato
why they.
family.
That's
They
why
look
they.
delicious. I don't blame her for eating it.
That's why for years, when tomatoes were
Right, they thought they were deadly.
They thought we were deadly. They
They
used
thought
them
they
as
were
ornamental
deadly.
plants, and
Yep.
it's like you can't eat that, and look what happened.
And then
Well,
it
I'm glad
became
someone
into the
figured
love
that out.
fruit. Yes.
Yeah. Tomato is probably the number one fruit.
Well, number one thing grown,
but across the world, across the world, in Africa,
Well,
Italy, it's arguable.
Probably.
But
Corn is probably up
no,
there.
but I'm saying
I
like
mean,
the
homeowner.
fruit. I'm saying like the fruit sort of thing.
Yeah.
That
Right.
that aspect, not the grain aspect.
So
but
what
more
else
that.
you growing, Al?
We have a lot. Let's see. I did my first seeds this year.
How'd that work out?
So, well, they're coming up. We'll see. I have carrots and beets.
Okay,
from
veggie seeds.
Okay.
Yeah, okay,
and
got
green
it.
beans and fennel. And then I don't know. I do a lot of tomatoes because I like heirloom tomatoes.
Oh, baby, which ones you
Did
got?
you do those
know?
from seed, Al?
No, I did those
Okay, so
plants.
you got some sprigs on
I
that.
went to
yeah.
this cool place in Prior Lake that somebody told me about. Almost everything they have, they try to grow organically,
Mm-hmm.
and so it was definitely worth the drive. It was called Green Earth Gardens or something like that. But I don't know. We have leeks,
Okay.
I like leeks. You're doing
and
good.
a mix
she
of
really is.
lettuces and kales, and a mix of broccoli and cauliflower.
Kales will go good.
and-
Lettuce will start to crap out when
Yeah.
it gets hot.
Lettuce was the one thing last year that mine was disgusting.
Planted
it was
early.
so bitter.
Plant it early.
Okay.
It'll take a frost. It'll take cold.
Okay.
So that should be one of the first things go in: lettuce, kale, broccoli.
Okay.
Things like that because they get better. Well, they get worse as it gets hot. So
Yeah.
the other thing
Gotcha.
is, if you want, plant a second crop, like in late
Oh.
July, middle of July,
Brand new from seed.
and it
Yeah.
goes.
Oh, really?
And then it goes into cold.
Okay.
And it gets sweeter and better and tastier.
Oh, it's delicious.
But my kale, I've been picking kale already. Kale seems to be different. I always thought that it would bolt, but
Mm-hmm.
it didn't last year.
Did your lettuce bolt? Is that why it got
That's
bitter
when it
on you
gets
then?
bitter, it
I
bolts.
mean, did it start getting the
Flower.
the flowers coming out,
No,
the stems?
it just
Okay, it
tasted
was nasty.
terrible.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
it heat does that to
Mm-hmm.
it.
Okay.
That's why it's cool is better. But
Okay.
look at you, you're a real
we're
gardener.
trying. We're trying.
It's not hard. We all
No.
learn. You
and
just
I really
make
enjoy
mistakes.
the process, like going back there and seeing something pop up.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
So what tomatoes did you grow? You remember?
I have, I think, sweet 100s, and then I have 3 kinds of heirloom. And I can't remember the names. 'cause
Brandywine?
They're fancy. Yes, I think I have those, and I have
The mortgage lifter?
the lemony ones,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
and a green one.
Nice.
Yeah. So we'll see. They're starting to grow.
Put a little Epsom salts around them. Water them with
Really?
Epsom. Yeah, they love Epsom salts is magnesium.
Right, right.
And tomatoes love magnesium. So you mix up a couple tablespoons in a gallon of water and water your plant with it every couple of weeks. Fabulous.
Cool.
Sweeter, better tasting. Tremendous.
See, I told you I'd learned so much.
Yeah,
today.
There we
It's
go.
amazing.
I
And
love those.
mulch.
I love that mortgage lifter.
Mortgage
Yeah.
lifter. It's the one I grow. I like growing that mortgage lifter.
Tell the story about that again, real quick.
Well, the guy, it was in the 1930s, and this guy grew a big tomato. And the rumor has he sold it for $1. I don't know how you could do that back then, but he was selling them, the mortgage lifter, to pay off his house. And he did.
Wow.
And that's the mortgage lifter heirloom tomato. Heirlooms is so good.
Oh
I
man,
know.
the
They
flavors
taste
are
like
so
a
good.
real mater is supposed
Yeah,
to taste.
and I love
And they're
the
so pretty.
And or you know what, Allison, and or ugly.
Yeah,
you know, I
the
like
weird
the
shapes.
lobes and the shapes,
Right.
and that they don't look like the store ones. That they
Right.
look really like an actual
You mean like
tomato.
everyone looks exactly the same and is perfectly round and pink
Yep,
and has no flavor?
and has absolutely no
No,
flavor
not
at all.
compared.
Yeah.
Not compared. None
Do you,
whatsoever.
do you guys eat a lot of salads? I mean, when you plant for what you've done so far, do you
Mm-hmm.
plant thinking in advance? Because these are the kind of foods that we like to eat around the house.
Yes,
Yeah.
and
Gracie
definitely
too?
keeping her in mind because
Yeah.
she was great at eating her veggies as a baby. I could just put plain steamed broccoli on her plate, no problem.
Let her go.
And all of a sudden, if it was green, she won't eat it. So
Okay.
now she's kind of coming around the bend, and I think watching this stuff come up is making her much more interested in eating it, which is huge.
Yeah,
But
that's
I
what Bobby was
definitely-
saying earlier there.
Yeah.
Pretty much what I call them the terrible twos.
Right.
You know?
I know. But I thought, she loves carrots. She loves anything purple. So I did do purple carrots and the purple green beans. So we'll see.
And what do you think you
Whatever
want
it
to do
takes.
next? I mean, you've got a double lot there. You've got a lot of space to work in. What do you think you want to do next? You know,
Well,
what-
our project of the year is getting grass to grow in areas we have never had it grow before.
And why doesn't it grow there?
We have a huge pine tree.
Okay, it's not going to grow there.
Well, we trimmed the pine tree way up, and so
Mm.
it's slowly coming in. That area is better. And then we have a couple areas that I think our dogs just tend to do laps in.
Yeah,
And so they
yeah.
kick it up. And so now we have fenced those off and laid the stuff that looks like newspapers with the seed in it. And
yeah, the
But you got to
shredded
use
stuff. Yeah.
fescue in the shade.
okay.
Make sure you put more fescue than 3 types of grass seed: fescue, bluegrass, and rye.
Okay.
And whatever sunny is mostly bluegrass, 50%, and then fescue and rye.
Okay.
And a shade grass is 50% fescue or more, and then bluegrass and rye. So you want to make
Okay.
sure, and then probably in the stuff you bought, unless it said shade, probably doesn't. Yeah,
Well,
probably
that's,
doesn't have
that
a lot.
spot's in the sun.
Well, that's good.
So we'll see.
So do bluegrass. And
Yeah.
when I would do those, I would throw grass down, then throw that on top, so you're getting more grass seed down
Okay.
than what they give you.
Right.
And then just keep it moist until those little babies start coming up.
Yes, it is coming up. I don't have complete coverage yet, but I have a whole lot more than
When
I
did you put it down? How long ago?
2 weeks.
See, bluegrass rye are about 2 weeks. Bluegrass and fescues are 20-something days. So you're
Oh,
okay.
okay.
It takes
So
a
that's
while.
the first grass that comes up,
Okay.
and then it goes. And where the dogs are, you might want to get it's called it's a fescue, but it's like a playgrass. It's thicker leaf
Oh, that'd be
fescue.
great. Yeah.
And this way they can run on it, and it doesn't
Yeah.
crush up so much.
Do they have a
Okay.
specific loop that they run? Because we've got it in
Yeah.
our backyard, especially
Yeah.
for Rusty, the bigger golden.
Yeah.
I mean, when he gets riled up, he's just got this one path.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
And-
almost hard. I mean,
But what I'm getting at is
hard.
what we've done with that is just put more of a path there for him,
Right.
with pea gravel and stuff, and it's like, and it's another.
Yeah,
It's,
you're beating your head agaast the wall.
exactly,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
because we're lazy gardeners. You know, why am I
Right.
going to try to
Yeah,
plant
yeah, that's
something
right.
that-
Thanks.
You know, exactly. You get a sip in there. One of the best and first lazy gardener advice pieces I got from Bob was, like, speaking of your pine tree, I got a big silver maple tree, and the grass just wouldn't grow under that. And this is years ago when Bobby and I were doing stuff on the radio station and what have you. And he goes, plant a mulch garden. And I said, what? Plant a mulch garden? But it's like, it made
It ain't
complete.
gonna grow.
It ain't going to grow. So I was, again, beating my head trying to get grass to grow there, and it wasn't gonna. And once I just got a big-ass load of mulch in and had the drop on the driveway, and then just did the wheelbarrow loads
Yeah.
and put a nice layer down there. It was like 3-4 inches of mulch, and just let it go.
Yeah.
And then there was a place for the grass not to grow and for the
Right.
dogs to run around, and we had trees. We had swings in the trees at that in that tree at that time, which added to the grass
Yeah.
not growing.
So
Give me
it
a-
worked. It
give me
really
a-
worked.
give me a high
Cool.
five.
It
Listen
worked.
to you.
Somebody listened. Oh my God.
But that
I was worried if that
goes
was
back-
gonna work,
That
you
goes
know?
back like 15 years. You
Maybe
know,
more,
late-
B.
Yeah,
I'm here
but-
25, man.
You know, so lazy gardener tip number one that I
that
got
was-
from Bobby
that was
Jensen.
a long time ago.
But you can see the counterintuitive aspect of plant
Right.
a mulch garden, but that's exactly what it was, and it worked out great.
I was a lot smarter back then.
Things have changed.
Things have changed. The
Things
memory's
have
going,
changed.
all of that stuff.
What else do you want to do in that big double lot that you got there? Do you want to have more Gracie playground space as your family grows? I mean, are you factoring in where you want
Your
that
family
to be?
grows? Is there a
No.
reason your family's going to grow?
December 14th
There
or
is-
thereabouts. it
there
will
is a
grow.
reason.
Now, hey, I go to your holiday show
Yes.
every year.
Yes.
December 14th is cutting a little close,
It is a little
girly
close.
girl.
I know. We thought the absolute first day we could do the holiday show was the day after Thanksgiving, so that's your date.
Did
It's
you and
gonna
your
be-
husband not consider your
Right,
your
exactly.
boinking schedule
Wait a
as it
minute.
relates to the very popular Allison Scott
Ho, ho.
holiday shows?
What
I mean,
about-
I'm trying to get a handle
I
on
know.
Forget about that.
So
What about me?
this.
irresponsible.
What about my
Bobby,
needs?
What about Bobby Jensen?
What about my needs? Jesus, Al.
I know.
It just got a little
horrible.
creepy as I was about to say. Didn't you think about your boinking
Right,
as it
right.
relates to
Seriously.
Bobby?
Right, it's way creepy. See, this is good. You could say these
Yes,
things
I
on
know.
this.
There you go. There you go. But have you thought about that? Have you thought about where you want more of the kids stuff?
I don't
you know?
think you need to discuss why and when they think about things.
No, the kids stuff, Bobby. The
Oh,
kids,
okay.
no,
I
the
was
kid-
a whole nother.
No,
I
no,
was still hung up on boinking.
Have you thought about where you want things to go? See, he's going to get creepy now. No, I mean playground toys. Have you thought about that?
Yes, because we are very lucky to butt up to a park,
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
sweet.
tennis courts, basketball court, baseball field.
Yeah.
So Gracie has a sandbox right now, and we have one of those big cement slabs right behind our garage, which kind of serves as a patio right now. But Andy wants to put in kind of a rock path, and then put a nicer pavement patio in. Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
okay.
And then Gracie maybe would need a little swing set or something, but
Mm-hmm.
since we're so close to the park, we're trying not
You
to.
can kind of
You
not
don't
have
need-
that then.
We
Yeah,
were
that's
talking.
nice to know.
We were talking about the other day. You need like 600 square feet, 20 by 30,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
to have enough room to do something.
Right. Yeah.
After that,
Play
you're mowing, man.
croquet
What
or
the
whatever.
heck?
Yeah.
Right.
I'm an anti-mower, man. I hate mowing.
Yeah.
Well, and we have this weird thing. You know, our house is built in the 40s, and somebody at some point along the way put in a paver patio and then just covered it up.
Oh yeah, that's good.
So when we built our garden, which is it's a pretty big corner of our lot. I'd say it's at least 20% of our backyard. We had to dig all those stones up.
I mean,
'cause we
covered
out-
it up with soil. is
soil
what you're
and
saying.
then
Okay,
grass. Yeah, which
okay.
of course the grass doesn't
Didn't really
grow very well.
over
So-
concrete. It's usually not good.
No, so there's about 3 inches of dirt, which obviously is not ideal for plants to grow. So we had to dig that all out, and there's one little corner we just got sick of doing it. We still need to get to it.
Yeah.
I understand that.
There might be a lazy plan for that, so
Yeah.
we'll ruminate on that for a
Andy
while.
throws
scrape
like
the soil off
2
and put the
rocks in the
patio
garbage
back.
each week.
Yeah, right. That works.
Yeah.
So not so much the kids stuff. Do you want to add more vegetable stuff? Do you want to have more, more plants around the seating area, things like that?
Yeah, I think having a nice seating area is kind of where we need
An
to
entertaining
focus
area?
now. Yeah.
For a glass of wine, I could come over and we could commiserate
could?
on your. You can't come, BT.
I'm out of
I
it.
saw you look right over here. Sorry, pal.
Out
You're
on
out.
this one.
You're out. You talk music. I got it for the garden. For the garden.
For the garden.
That would be amazing. Yeah, I would love it.
Well, you know that. That's a piece of cake.
Well, thanks.
Yeah.
Do you like to do the plants inside the house too? I mean, are you an indoor
I have,
gardener also?
Orchids and stuff like that.
Okay.
But I'm really good at keeping them alive for several months, and then once they lose their flowers, I'm not my grandmother who has the same orchid plants she did 10 years ago and manages to get them to come back.
Just
over
cut
and
it down.
over.
Cut the flower stem down.
Mm-hmm.
So they say 3. I don't think it really matters, but 3 nodes, and just on top of the 3rd one, cut
Mm-hmm.
it again, and that's where the new bud will come from. Cool. See, it's amazing, huh? You guys can talk music and CC or whatever the hell her name was.
Bobby will make my house pretty.
Yes, I could do that.
Lori did something this year out in our front yard that reminded us of what she did when the kids were little. So I'll plant a seed with you for next year, especially because Grace, you'll be 3.
Right.
She took some big clay pots, and did sunflower seeds in there, and then in between the sunflower seeds, some morning glory seeds. And so what happens is now the sunflower seeds are growing up,
Yeah.
and they're already about 2.5 feet, and they're continuing to grow. They're just going like gangbusters.
Yeah.
And And then I didn't know that she put the morning glory seeds in there, and so there was a few weeds in there, and so Dad decided to go out and help. You know, it's like, hey, I
You weeded the morning glories.
and you know, I weeded
Oh,
everything. You know,
God. Yeah,
and
how'd that go over?
well, I planted some new morning glory seeds in there. That's how that went over. But the funny part is I'm pulling out some of those. It's like, wait, these leaves look really familiar. I mean, I know this one's a weed. I'm pulling it, and I know that. But why? Well,
what the
I didn't know. So anyhow, there's some new morning glory seeds in there. But yeah, then they'll start
Wrap the
climbing up,
stems.
and so
Then
you
you
can
get
feel
the
the
blue
sunflowers.
or the purple against
Yeah,
it.
yeah, and then the baby will really appreciate that and do that kind
Yeah.
of sort of.
Well, not only that, it's the size of a sunflower drives him crazy.
Oh God, yeah,
They're
that
so
big,
pretty.
That big,
deal.
huge thing.
Mhm. But Bobby, I got a question for you.
What?
Are those sunflower stems? Are they sweet? Do rabbits like those? Because
Not that I know of.
I got to figure out a way, either a little chicken wiring around there, because I'm coming out and like every other day, one of those nice stems is bit right off, and it's almost like a clean, like clean incision, and there's the stem toppled over. So
I'll have to check the Google and find out.
The
what's-
Googles.
What I don't think a rabbit would.
Yeah,
but maybe.
I don't know if it's a rabbit
So
or a
is it
squirrel.
is it laid there? Or is the whole thing gone?
No, yeah, the stem is bit at about 3 or 4 inches up from the soil surface in the pot.
Right.
And then, sometimes...
just laid
and
over.
then it's laid over, or sometimes it's gone. But, the one this morning from the other night, was just laying
How
over
are you
on
with
its
the
side.
neighbor kids? You all right?
Yes, I was the one that always gave away the big-ass
Okay,
Hershey bars,
good,
the big
good.
king-size
Wise man.
Snickers
Yeah.
bars. You darn right.
That would be one
You've
that I
never
would
been
check.
teepeed then?
I'd never been teepeed except for my
Excellent.
daughter's friends from high school,
Right,
but that
obvious.
wasn't their neighborhood for king-size Snickers bars, so they didn't know. No, so yeah, the kids have always treated, no egging on the house. They've always treated us well. Okay, we'll have to figure out a solution, or maybe some of that organic perimeter, keep away if
some
the
of
animal be gone. and all
Animal
that.
be gone.
Yeah, all that
don't
kind
know.
of stuff.
Like
Just trying to think, what would like a sunflower stem? What would it be?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know,
okay.
but we will be able to stay tuned. We'll answer that next week
We'll discern this question.
on the Allie and Brian show.
Tell me more. He's just not going to let go.
No,
is
not
he?
at all.
Not at all. He's so spiteful.
I've got issues.
He's
I've
a
got-
spiteful son
I got
of a gun.
serious
yes, he
issues.
does. What kind of dogs do you have? And do you have issues with the poop and the peeing and spots on the lawn and
In the
stuff like
winter?
that too? And winter stuff?
Well, one of our dogs is pretty little.
'Kay.
Grover is a miniature poodle. He's a schnoodle. Schnauzer.
She's a schnauzer poodle.
Schnauzer
Oh,
poodle.
that's a cute dog.
He's pretty adorable, about 14 pounds. And then Maya is a black golden doodle.
Okay. So a bigger dog.
So you're into
yeah.
She
doodles.
is.
Yeah.
Well, I need hypoallergenic dogs.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh,
I mean,
there you go.
I'm not terribly allergic, but
Yeah,
when
but-
you sing for a living, it's just
It's
best
safe.
to
No,
avoid.
those
Right.
those breeds are perfect
Yeah,
for that.
yeah.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah. Plus,
Hair,
I don't
not
have to
fur.
vacuum. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to vacuum and
Well,
shed
I don't
it.
have to vacuum daily, I should say.
Yeah. And you said it right, Bob. Yeah, hair, not fur.
Hair, not fur.
Right.
Yeah.
But problems with the
They're
lawn or
not too
anything like that.
bad.
All right, that's
No.
good. Okay.
I'm shocked because I remember that being an issue with our dogs growing up,
Yeah.
but it's not.
I mean, she's got it all.
Yeah.
I do have one question for you, though.
Anything.
So one other project that just occurred to me that's always looming over us, and we put it off. We have the previous homeowners put really ugly little rocks in a lot of our landscaping beds, and they're
nice.
hideous. And they just everything needs to be replanted. So we got to get those out of there. But then my question is always, what's the best thing to put down instead?
Any organic, I mean, any wood chip kind of deal, everything but peat moss, because peat
Okay.
moss is good in the soil. On the surface, it forms a crust. But whatever you like, I mean, shredded hard. I like shredded hardwood. I'm not a fan of the dyed stuff.
Right.
Basically, because the guy that started it's brilliant. He would put dumpsters at construction sites and say, "Yeah, I'll take all your stuff," and then chop it up and dye it.
Right.
And it floats a lot. And plus, the problem with that is like with your rock, if you ever want to get rid of it or change the color,
Right.
it never goes away.
Right.
It keeps showing up. You can't top it because
Right.
it'll come through.
Right.
And with the rocks, hire a high school kid because
Oh,
that's
yeah.
the worst freaking job in the
Oh,
world.
yeah. Andy did one bed, and we
It's-
decided we will hire that out from
Hire
now
a high
on.
school kid. Say, hey, you want to make $8 an hour?
Are they
Cash?
tiny rocks? Are they bigger?
Don't
Are
matter.
they
They're
the
like
bigger?
golf ball size.
All right.
You never
yeah, so
knew
it's a little
that
bit
rocks
bigger.
could mate and make
Yeah.
other rocks,
Oh
man.
my
'cause
god, it's a
they
nightmare.
just keep showing up
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
showing
Yeah.
up and showing up. And then when you get them all out, throw some compost in, mix it in the soil, because it'll be rock and then there's some sort of crummy plastic underneath it.
Yeah.
And
Hold
the
that
soil
up.
and the soil underneath it's terrible, fallow.
Okay.
So
Okay.
just get some compost, mix that in, it'll start bringing life back into the soil.
Okay.
And then no weed barrier, just mulch, 3-4 inches max.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I like shredded hardwoods and stuff, because if it turns gray, you just go out and rake it, and the stuff that's underneath comes up, and everything turns brown or black again.
Oh, okay.
And you only have to add a top dressing every couple of years. People are like,
Okay.
"Well, the reason I like rock is so I never have to do mulch again." Well, you don't do
Yeah.
you don't want anything more than 3 inches. So if it goes down to 2, you add a little bit. You don't want 8-9 inches of mulch like guys that go out and throw mulch every year. It's bad. You dig. It's almost as bad as rock. You dig it up and underneath it's all moldy and disgusting.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's the worst job in the world.
Yeah.
I when I had my company, if you had to remove rock, I would give them such a ridiculous price.
Yeah.
And they would say, well, that's a lot. I say, yeah, it is, because it's horrible.
It's a pain
Yeah.
in the butt job.
There's no way but manual digging, raking, picking, throwing, wheelbarrowing. All the things I don't like.
One thing
I
to do for
know.
sure, though, is go around the whole perimeter of the house, because you got a 1940s era house.
Yep.
So go around the whole perimeter, especially where those planting beds are, because the rock thing is also used as a pest preventer, as a pest barrier for mice, for moles, for voles, and things, especially the mice, because they can burrow in there and form some little areas and hide.
Yeah.
And then they're right next to the foundation of your house, and they're always looking for ways to get in.
Okay.
So what you want to do, not that they can if there's a place, but if you go in there and just make sure it's all caulked and sealed, and that you've checked everything, that there's no way for them to get into the dryer vent,
Right.
that's working well.
Right.
I didn't
And
know
all
that.
that preventive stuff. Yeah, that's as much of why decorative rock is used around a foundation of a
Well,
house.
we do have no pest problems.
Yeah,
so,
so
yeah.
that's the other part, because
I
then
don't
the
know, Alan. I don't know if I'm in agreement with this. I
Then
think
they're
this is a BT thing going on here. The vermin control. But one thing
Can't
is,
help.
when you do go over, because you do have an old house, probably the bed is small. Increase it to 6-7 feet, because then when you plant in depth.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but 35 years ago when we decided to start landscaping in the world, we thought that things would grow within a 3-foot barrier.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, you'd be whacking them back to get in your house. So you give it the shape, you give it the size, and then you pick a plant that's going to grow 3x3 or 3x8, whatever size it is, and you don't prune, you don't do anything. You give it the space to grow where it should. So the thing is definitely, because all the beds now that landscapers do, or whenever we design or I design, they're 6, 7, 8 feet
Yeah.
wide.
Yep.
Because it doesn't make sense. I mean, think about it. We had pointy thing, a couple of round things, and then 2 pointy things by the door. And that was just the old days. We
Yep.
really didn't know back then.
Right.
And then you whack them back, and you whack them back, and then finally you say, the hell with it, and it overgrows.
Yeah.
So make the bed bigger, and it's easy once you get past the rock.
Okay.
But getting past the rock
Oh
is
man, high
no
school
fun.
kids, Richfield High School
yeah.
kids.
Hey, football team, come
That's
here,
right.
let's
Come
work
on, yeah,
out.
yeah. I'll write you a theme song. Oh wait,
She can't be right now. Oh, and by the way, this is a new show. We don't have any money.
exactly.
Did you pass
No.
that note to her?
I'm glad you put
Gardening
that out
advice
there.
We can-
in exchange for.
Whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Whatever you want, babe. We will work
I'll bring
it out.
over the ginger ale. Wait, if I can come. If I can.
Well,
if
I don't
can.
know. We'll see.
All right. I'll bring you beer. I'll bring Allie ginger ale. It'll be a good thing. Life will be good. Life
Okay,
will be good.
you can
All right.
come.
So sweet of him. Allison, good to see you. Love you, honey.
Good
Good
to
to
see
have
you.
you
Yes,
here.
Thank you for
yeah.
having
And
me.
good luck with the new video and the new
you.
album.
Thank
I
you.
can't wait. And by the way, she does have a Kickstarter.
It's
music.
Pledge Music.
Pledge Music
Yes,
out there
the
for you folks.
campaign. Yeah, so you can pre-order the record. You can hire you can hire me to write you a song. You
Yeah.
can hire me to cover a song that you love, or
Just donate.
buy studio time, all kinds of fun stuff.
Is the whole pathway at your website, AllisonScott.com then?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
all over my website and
Perfect.
Facebook. And the
Awesome.
CD release party's August 21st and 2nd at the Dakota Jazz Club.
Nice.
And I
Nice.
really
Give us
don't-
the name of the record again, real quick.
Stone Cold Love.
Thank you. And what were we going to say?
Sorry
Bob?
you're not on her on her emailing list like I am. I don't know. I knew all of these things. I'm sorry, buddy.
Well, I like to verbalize them for the sake of our
Oh,
podcast
yeah, really?
listener.
Sure,
This is sort
sure.
of a,
Here we go. Yeah, I
this
knew
is
that.
sort
Yeah.
of a verbally
But Al,
strong
we love you.
environment.
Thank you. I love you guys
You
too.
know.
Thanks for joining us on the show, and you come back and visit because we're going to do a little follow-up with you on different stuff, okay?
All right.
Sounds good. Bobby, we'll see you next week, brother.
I'll be here, cousin.
So Lazy Gardeners with Bobby and BT here at the Alive and Social Network. We'll see you then, too.